Okay, so the first part of assignment 6 that you're going to have to complete is to create a virtual machine using Oracle VirtualBox and install Windows 2008. Now, those of you who have had CINT 106 probably have already done this before. You've probably used Oracle VirtualBox to do it. If you have not, this video will give you a quick tutorial about how to do it. So right now we have Oracle VirtualBox open and running, which you would have had to have had installed on your computer to do assignment 2. You can see actually there's the computer I used for assignment 2. And it's very easy to create a new virtual machine from scratch. We're just going to click on this new button here, and we're going to give our new virtual machine a name. And then we need to tell it what type of operating system we're going to install on it. In this case, we're going to use Windows 2008. Oops. Windows 2008, not Windows 8. And this is just a little wizard that you go through, tell it how much memory you want to allocate to it. I recommend that you stay out of this orange part or this red part here when you use this slider to determine the memory. That will severely degrade the performance of your host computer. Your host computer is the computer that is actually running Oracle VirtualBox to run the virtual machine on. And if you try to use too much memory for the virtual machine, your computer won't be able to function. So assign it some memory, click Next. The next thing we want to do is create a virtual hard drive. Do the create a new virtual hard drive now. I'm just going to leave it selected at VDI, which is the default for VirtualBox. And for this particular assignment, you're going to want to go with a fixed size disk. If you use a dynamically allocated disk, which will save you hard drive space, but in the long run it's going to cause you problems with this assignment because of the way the encryption system works. So I'll just hit Next. I'm just going to leave it at the default size of 25 gigabytes. You can make that larger if you'd like to. Create, and it's going to go through the process of creating that virtual hard drive. I'm just going to pause the recording while it does that. Okay, now you can see that our virtual machine 2 that I just created is showing up in our list of virtual machines on Oracle VirtualBox. The next step is to virtually insert the CD-ROM that has Windows 2008 on it. If you haven't done so already, download the Windows 2008 or 2008 R2 ISO and save it someplace on your computer. Then just select the virtual machine, go up to Settings, go down to Storage, and here is our virtual CD-ROM. So we're just going to select it, and then come over here. The VirtualBox isn't very clear about this, but this icon right here, this is where you actually choose what ISO you virtually insert into the CD-ROM. So I'm going to choose a virtual CD-ROM disk or drive, then I'm going to select Windows 2008 R2. You could use Windows 7 for this assignment as well if you have that installed, or you have the ISO for that. That's fine. But for this one, I'm just going to select 2008 R2, select Open, and now you can see that the CD-ROM is associated with that. So I'm going to click OK, and then I'm going to click Start. And that's all there is to creating the virtual machine. As it starts up, you may get a couple of error messages or warning messages, but for the most part, this is just like installing an operating system on a physical computer. For this particular assignment, I would recommend that you just use the standard version of Windows 2008 and make sure you choose the full installation and not the core installation. The full installation has all of the GUI components associated with Windows, and the core does not. Let me show you that list here. It'll be coming up in just a second. And there it is. So just choose this top one, Windows 2008 R2 Standard Full Installation. Go through the process of installing the operating system, and in the next video I will show you how to install TrueCrypt and encrypt the file system.